here with Mark Nelson from Rio Grande, and we are going to be working with something brand new. I know you're used to maybe bronze clay, but this is copper.
That's right. There's bronze, silver, and now copper clay.
And you can see the earrings right next to the material. That's what we're going to be making today.
Right. Simple pair of earrings. And using a stamp that has kind of an Aegean or Greece kind of motif to it.
That'll be fun. So is there anything different about this clay that we need to know?
No, it works pretty much the same. Maybe it might be a little more stickier than the bronze.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's all pretty much the same. Same kind of shrinkage, about 20–25%, depending on the thing you're making. So,
good. It's fun. Let's get started.
Get started. I'm going to start by prepping my work surface with a little lubricant here so it doesn't stick too bad.
And I love that the work surface has a grid, almost like a ruler on there already.
Right, it comes in real handy, especially when you're trying to calculate the shrinkage and how much larger you need to make your piece.
See, now that makes it a little easier. So things like that.
Right.
Helps the process.
Just like the bronze, the copper clay does work a little bit better when it's cool. So when you store it, you want to store it in a refrigerator.
Okay.
So, and when you break it out, keep it sealed, just like you do the other clays.
So it doesn't dry.
Right. And you do need to knead it quite a bit. And I like to spray just a little bit of water in there.
So it's just water.
Right. And that'll help it get rid of these cracks. If you have cracks and air bubbles in it, it will kind of affect the how the stamp turns out.
Okay.
So I'll definitely knead this for just a little bit longer here.
Just getting it more pliable.
Right. What I want to do for this particular stamp, these stamps are very deep and have a lot of detail in them. So I want to roll it out about 8 cards thick. And I use these spacers that have been pre-gauged.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, they're pre-gauged about 8. This red one particularly is about 8 cards thick.
So you don't have to actually have 8 playing cards.
Right, and you don't have to mess with trying to stack up the cards and and how to deal with that. So you need to put a little more lubricant on tools here so they don't stick on there as well. So there we go. That should be good. See
That's good.
much easier that is.
Good to see that, you know, just to remind us to do that.
So I rolled it out about 8 cards thick. And I'm going to pick one here. I like this one particularly.
I like that one too.
Now we have a lot of here clay that we have to get up in here and all these little tight little spaces in here and right here. So I need to make sure that I press down deep but evenly.
Okay. So
what I try to do is I try to use an acrylic plate here that'll let me push down evenly across the whole piece. I'm going to put quite a bit of pressure on here.
And also it's good that you're working on a flat surface, obviously.
Right, right.
Something that's a little more stable too.
A nice stable flat surface. And let's see if I got a good print here.
I'm going to say you did. Oh, that's perfect.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So now what I want to do is I want to try and cut this out very carefully. And I like to use an X-Acto knife.
Okay.
And sometimes I won't cut real close when I'm cutting this out because I can come back later when it's dry. And the nice thing about the copper clay is it carves really, really well. So I can come back in here and carve out the detail after it's dry.
Oh, okay.
And
that's good to know.
Yeah, you don't have to do everything right away when the clay is still soft.
I love the color of that copper.
Yeah, it's very nice. Neat thing about copper is its ability to be patinaed.
Oh,
and so that you can get these really nice browns and greens and so on.
So all of it you're saving. Save that excess.
Save what you don't use and make sure you zip it up real nice. Put it back in the fridge. What you want to do is you want to take this, you can let it sit here or you can take it to a warmer. However you want to let it dry. I usually just use a coffee mug warmer.
Okay.
Let it dry. When it's dry, you can come back in, and this is a different stamp, but you can see I can come back in with a knife now.
And carve.
And just carve it right
Oh,
down.
okay.
Carves really, really nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost like wood.
Yeah, even better than wood.
Even better.
Yeah. And so you can carve it, you can sand it. Some people prefer to sand. It makes a lot of dust. And I prefer to carve as much as I can first and then sand. tends to be a little bit cleaner that way.
All right. Now, since we're making earrings, when do you punch the hole in?
When the
Do you have
punch
to do
hole
it
in?
now?
I tend to do that one of the last things that when I'm done cleaning it up. And I'll just use a screwdriver, or not a screwdriver, drill bit, and do it by hand. If I tried to do this with a flex shaft or another drill tool, it can get out of control. And this clay is fairly flexible.
I was going to say, it looks like it's a lot more flexible than some of the other ones.
You can kind of bend it quite a bit here, see?
Oh, look at that.
So it's really easy to carve. You're not going to break it really easily.
Okay.
And if it's too thick, because it is 8 carats thick, you can go ahead and sand down the back.
Okay.
Now, when you're done with your finishing work, what you want to do is you want to load it into the carbon. And
what kind of carbon is that?
this is the coconut shell carbon.
Okay.
We have 2 different kinds of carbon. One's an acid base, one's coconut shell. The copper will not fire in the acid based.
See, that's good to know.
Yeah, it has to
So
be
it
the
has
coconut.
to be the coconut base.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And
so you put it in.
for this particular kiln, we want to pack it towards the back because this is going to be our door, and there's no heating elements
Right.
at the door. You want it about a 1/2 inch from the sides, and you want about a 1/2 inch material on the bottom of it and the top.
And then we put it in the kiln and fire it up. And how long does it stay in there?
It's going to
And
stay
what
in.
temperature?
You're going to do a full ramp, full speed to 1700 degrees
Okay.
and hold it for 3 hours.
Now, when it comes out of the kiln, then what do you do with that?
Well, when it comes out of the kiln, you're going to end up with a piece like this, and you can hear it. It's turned to metal.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, this is the, let's see.
What it looks
This
like
is
there.
that's the original size, and that's the finished size.
Oh, so you do get a little bit of shrinkage with that. And how do you do the patina?
However you like. There are all kinds of different recipes for patinas, or you can just leave them polished.
Oh, that's good. Good to know. Well, thank you so much, Mark.
Oh, you're welcome.
Doodle Beads is up next with Leslie.